as we know, Baltimore has clinched.
Yeah.
And teams that have clinched going into Week 18 have a big decision to make. I saw this while I was in the league. I've seen it since. Do we rest a key player or two? Do we rest all of our starters, or do we play them? And there are clearly pros and cons to approaching it each way. If you start someone and lose them for the playoffs, it's why did you play them? If you sit him and you lose your mojo, you lose your rhythm, it's why did you sit him? I'd love to hear your observations and views on the point. Play him, keep up consistency, or sit him to avoid the risk.
Yeah, Amy, it is. You hate to be that coach having to make that decision because you're exactly right. You are caught one way or the other. But I feel like if my guys are able to play, I'm going to get them some plays. They may not play the whole game. I'm not talking about that. But I want them to continue to feel good about what's going on and how we go. Is it a risk? Absolutely. But it's a calculated risk I'm going to want to take. And with Baltimore, I'm going to leave it central to them. The scars of 2019, when they were the number one seed, they are still there because they talked about it this week before they clinched. Lamar Jackson talked about it with us. In 2019, they clinched early, didn't play anyone the last week of the season, had the open week, the bye, and then played Tennessee and were flat. Lamar referenced it. I think we should, I think we might want to think about playing. John Harbaugh has a big decision to make with that, and we'll see where it goes. I would not be surprised to see them get some snaps and maybe just not go the full distance.
I would be surprised if they do go the full distance for the reason you stated. Calculated risk. Look, it's a risk-reward analysis. If you put them out there, you're keeping the consistency, you're giving them reps, you're continuing what's working. But the risk is catastrophic injury. So I love, you're absolutely right. It's a calculated risk, and maybe splitting the baby, so to speak, is the way to go. Some snaps, not a lot.
And I think maybe we just take the injury report, Amy and Suzy. The injury report says full go, limited, doubtful, right? Questionable. If you are questionable or doubtful, you don't play.
Yeah, like Christian McCaffrey. I mean, just sit.
Right. You don't play. All right. Questionable or doubtful, you don't play unless it's the Super Bowl, right? Or you are in the playoffs and you have to win to advance. If you're already covered there, guys who may have been dinged early in the week and they're feeling good later and then go, you get them some snaps. But again, you have to be smart and judicious about what you're doing because Baltimore has a number of injuries that we're not even talking about.
Right.
Brandon Stevens didn't play, the starting corner in our game. Kyle Hamilton, the starting safety, who may be an all-pro as a second-year guy, did not play in this game. By the time it ended, Rocky Yassin, who they signed to potentially be a starter, he'd been buried deep into the rotation. He played a lot in this ball game and played pretty well. How many people would say, hey, I've got Arthur Millette. He's going to be my cover guy in the nickel slot. No one. Guess what? He played awfully well in this game. They find a way to get it done. That playing like a Raven is not just a mantra. It's a reality if you wear those colors. And they did that on Sunday, but they sure would like to get those guys healthy and go for the playoffs. But if it's questionable, I don't think they hit the field on Sunday.
Check out new episodes of What the Football with Suzy Shuster and Amy Trask every Tuesday. Watch us on the Rich Eisen Show YouTube page or follow and listen wherever you get your podcasts.